Hey, what's up guys? MGH here. Welcome back to another episode of the Nottingham Forest Career Mode. Today we're doing a post-con because I've got a lot of games that I wanted to show you in this episode. As you know, this season's a little bit of a filler season because we've got a gap, haven't we really? We're not in the Champions League. We are in the Europa League, as you can see here. We can do really well with a 3-pointer here because that means we could potentially be going through with just a point in the next game, I believe it was. So part of me thinks that this season needs to be a little bit quicker than the others because there isn't anything major important going on other than the Premier League. The Europa League is cool, don't get me wrong, but is it something that I really want to win in the long run? Sure, it's a cool idea having the Europa League trophy, but really it's the Champions League I want. But anyway, we do get off to a pretty decent start here. Schick playing instead of Abraham, passes it inside to Galdamez, who isn't known for scoring. He's a workhorse in this team, but he does get forward every now and again. He did well scoring the goal. And then CSKA, who are for sure my rivals in this group stage, had a shot which went flying off target. And now Saliba, our free signing last season to this season, of course we bought him in January in Season 2, couldn't quite score, and that meant we went in at the break 1-0 up, which is pretty decent. Now, CSKA were pretty decent. They really were. They were solid at the back. There were a couple of chances here and there where I thought maybe if I made one more pass or one less pass maybe, I would have been able to break through. But actually, most of my chances came from winning the ball in midfield, just like I did here with Saliba, trying to get the pass through there for Geraldes, but I went alone in the end, and it's another save by Akinfeev, who is a bit of a legend in this game. Still very, very good. And talking of good goalkeepers, Medjugorje, what a punch that is. They had their goalkeeper up in the last minutes of the game, so there was no goalkeeper. And I could have been a little bit cheeky here and had a long shot, but I actually really wanted to score this, so I ran a little bit closer with Plata, and that was a well-worked goal in the end. To get the second goal, defending well from the corner, and there was no defenders and no goalkeepers back there. So pretty hilarious. That is one of the only times I've done that in FIFA 17. It does give us the 2-0 win against CSKA, and that means I think if we get a point in the next game, we will progress. Now, we do get an injury to Pereira. It's been a while since I had a nasty injury, so thankfully this one was not too bad, only 5 days out, but I can give away a little bit of a spoiler for this episode. There's a few injuries coming up which, let's just say they're not too great. But we move on into an absolutely huge game, guys. We've got Crystal Palace away from home. They are currently winning the Premier League. They look really, really good this season. It's funny going from, Tottenham, Chelsea, Man United to Crystal Palace, and I think it's Leicester up there with us at the moment. This season is just looking so odd. But are we going to get lucky, and are Crystal Palace going to go down to 10 men in the 38th minute? A terrible, terrible challenge on Garcia, and I was sure the referee was about to show the red card, but I'm guessing he was feeling good today, and he decided to let him off with a yellow, and they're still complaining about it. Are you mad? I couldn't believe it. I really, really thought they were going down to 10 men there, but it wasn't to be. And I tell you what, this was a tough, tough game. I can see why Crystal Palace are top of the league right now. They seem very, very strong. But can we get that elusive goal? We're into the second half here, 65 minutes in. Very close to scoring there. And Saliba was having a very nice game. Another through ball over the top. This time for Arayibi. I didn't have an opportunity to pass it or cross it. I had to go for the shot, and it wasn't a very good shot at all. Now, going into one of the last chances in the game, you thought Crystal Palace were good, right? Well, clearly not good enough to score against me. We were playing 3 at the back in this game, by the way, so defensively it was a little bit different for me, but in the end we did hold on and get the clean sheet, and Crystal Palace couldn't score against us. So a draw against the current league leaders, yeah, it's not too bad. And look at this, Medjugorje is now 77 rated. That is the exact same rating as Leali already. I mean, I told you it was worth signing him, getting him into training, and making him my first team goalkeeper. But here we get one of the nasty injuries I was talking about. Saliba, who had such a great game, he's going to be out for a while, which is a bit of a shame. I think it was 2 months. And we move on into the next Premier League game against bottom of the table, Middlesbrough, and we smashed them 3-1 away from home. That could have gone wrong. It really could have. Now, knowing that with 3 games to go left in the Europa League group stages, with only a point needed to progress, this was a no-brainer. Use the second team, simulate it, and we do get a 2-1 victory. And that means we've qualified, guys. We are going through to the next stage of the Europa League, and it really wasn't too difficult. We got a very nice group, if you ask me. And we can move on into the Premier League, which, of course, we're going to be focusing on. And it's against Arsenal. They were playing a very, very weak team. They had Welbeck up front, which was a little bit of a hard one for me, and they did still have Koscielny in defence, but he was partnered by Holding, who for me is one of the most... I don't want to say he's got a really good potential and kind of jinx it, but every time I've watched him play in real life, I really like this Holding guy, and he saved Arsenal there. That was going in point blank, and then he just slides in. And Welbeck, what are you thinking? Use that strength and pace, get closer to the goal, and he would have scored. It's the same situation here. They just seem to not really want to shoot, just like Arsenal do in real life. But this first half was all Arsenal. It really was. We had that one chance at the beginning there, and then it was just all Arsenal before the break. They were having so many opportunities. Luckily, Medjugorje, who has looked to be a very, very good signing, he was making a lot of saves. And we get on the attack just before half-time here, but Holding once again to the rescue. He's had a really good first half. Next to Koscielny, they're just really difficult to break through. So I think Arsene Wenger, if he's still at the club, I can't tell if that's Arsene Wenger at the bottom of the screen there. I think he realised that they weren't playing very well in terms of actually scoring goals. They had a lot of chances, but maybe needed a little bit more in midfield. They brought on Ramsey, and he gives away the ball instantly, pretty much instantly after coming on. And we do actually score from it, just like in the FA Cup semi-final. Ramsey lost the ball. Man City went down the other end and scored. So he's done the same here. But Geraldes is the one that goes through. It's a lovely, lovely finish. That's his 5th goal in the Premier League already. He's our top scorer, that's pretty unbelievable. 81 rated though, so he's definitely starting to blossom into one of my best players. I mean, just take a look at this highlight. Lovely bit of skill there to take out 2 players. But watch this. Unselfishly passes it across to Abraham, and yeah, off the post. Somehow hasn't scored that. I mean, we do get another chance with him here, but it was so embarrassing that I missed that, so I had to make it right and score here. But no, we're going to go to Geraldes instead. No, we're going to get stopped again by Martinez, having a very good game. Arsenal, I don't know what to say. I don't think they're going to be getting into that top 4 this season. In the game I'm talking about, of course, or in real life, to be honest, but... They didn't field the strongest team, and it's disappointing. Larson now picks up a 3-week injury. So that's 3 players, 3 injuries, I should say, in one episode. 2 of them relatively long ones. Luckily, obviously, Pereira was just a couple of days. But it's very frustrating, and it seems like they all come in one go. And that seems to be a little bit coincidental, don't you think? That all these injuries happen at the same time. Maybe the game decides, yeah, it's time to give you guys a few injuries. But anyway, interesting fact about this game against Liverpool. These highlights were actually edited down by Ellen, my fiancée. I wanted to see what she'd be like at editing FIFA gameplay. So let me know what you think. Is it better than mine? I watched her do it, and I gave her some tips. So what you're seeing here is actually clipped and edited by my fiancée, who doesn't like football, doesn't do any editing, and I thought it'd be pretty funny to see how she'd get on. So we do actually score an early penalty there, and we get another chance with Plata, who just puts it wide. He was in place of Larson, of course, because he's picked up that 3-week injury. And talking of great passes, I mean, that is just unbelievable. Lovely, lovely pass to Coutinho, and he just wriggles his way through. Medjugorje can't deal with it. I thought I got rid of it, but Lucas Leiva, oh wow, that is some strike to make it 1-0 right into the top right corner. Very, very frustrating to concede a goal where you think you've cleared it, and one of their defenders, or defensive midfielders I should say, picks it up and decides to smash it while your goalkeeper's off balance. And just like that, they're back in the game. So half-time, 1-1, not too bad. Liverpool aren't doing too bad this season, so I was pretty pleased to be at least ahead at one point, and then obviously conceding wasn't great, but we do make it 2-1, and it's a hell of a goal by Pereira, a lovely pass through, and our right-back, who is obviously looking to leave the club potentially. He wasn't going to sign his contract. He scores, and it's a really nice finish. He got injured in the process, but did get up and carried on playing. So luckily, he hasn't actually picked up another injury. Now, another shot comes in from Coutinho, easily saved by Medjugorje. I throw it out in a rush. I'm trying to get that 3rd goal and kill off this game, but look at this. What the hell is that? Lucas Leiva scores with his 2nd shot of the game. 2 shots, 2 goals. Unbelievable. I shouldn't have rushed the throw out. But I don't know about you guys, this animation is just, yeah, it's questionable. How is he getting the leverage, the power on that strike? I just don't know. He's a defensive midfielder scoring Messi-esque goals. You know, it just doesn't make sense. And unfortunately, it just killed me. It really did. My team didn't feel like they could get a goal back, even though we had plenty of chances. Here's another one coming up. Galdamez over to Pereira, who stayed forward for the corner. And another save by Bogdan there, and he's just jumped onto it. It just felt like no matter what I did, I just could not score at the end of the game here. So we do drop points once again. But a draw against Liverpool is never a bad result. And look at this. Medjugorje is already 78. Pereira's gone up to 76. We've got Geraldes in there as well. Hopefully he'll hit 82 soon. But in general, guys, this episode has been pretty successful. There's confirmation that we have qualified with 2 games to go in the Europa League. So we are going to simulate the next one, which is CSKA Moscow away from home. Travelling to Russia, never easy in real life. Can we pick off a win simulating it? Yes, we can. A 2-1 win. Geraldes winning the game for us in the 70th minute. Very nice indeed. So we've still got one more game to play in the Europa League, but it looks like we will be finishing in first place. Now, I mentioned how Pereira potentially wanted to leave the club. Good news, he's decided that he's going to stay. So we're going to offer him a new contract in the next episode. Hopefully, he will accept it. And we've got Man City coming up as well. We're in second place, but a win would take us up to the top. We've got Leicester in third, Spurs in fourth, and Liverpool in fifth. But that is going to be the end of this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you've enjoyed it, please do leave a like rating. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next time.